Really very nice. Kind of hard to go wrong. Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks for the 3 months. Means a lot. So, I'm glad that you're doing well. I think I still like Waddle over Potion Master, personally. I think Waddle's just like the business most of the time, so we're going to go with it. I do think that Potion Master is very good to get EXP right now, though. You just kind of use it to get EXP, and then once you've got a handful of XP, you just, you know, buff up a tree or whatever. Chicken's good. Pretty big fan of the chicken here, I think. Black Cat's okay. I'm not as big a fan as of the Black Cat as I am the chicken here. If we get the triple on the chicken, like, we can sell it, get the treasure, and then sell it and buy 2 other things, which is kind of nice. If we hit Shrink, we can buy the shop out. Those kind of things are enabled with the chicken, especially on Wonder Waddle. I think it's okay here. So we have a mouse, probably mouse a roll. I actually think I lock here. There is an argument for... There's an argument for shrinking now. It's not a great argument, but there is one, because then we could potentially shrink again. I think the problem is if we don't see Shrink, it's kind of awkward, and if we, if we want to buy the unit here, then it's kind of awkward. I think I'm just going to wait until next turn. We'll take an L on this one. We weren't really winning anyway against a supported thing on Pup, so take a little bit of damage. We'll shrink this, let's buy the whole shop out, and then we have, you know, whatever, 5 pairs, which is not ideal, obviously. It would be certainly better if we... certainly better if any of these had tripled up, or if they were one of the ones with a little bit more attack, but it'll be alright, I think. Most of the time. Hey, Keck, how you doing? Lead on the cut purse. We'll see if we can get a gold. Be cool if we can. If not, that's, you know, it is what it is. Looks like we're probably not going to get a whole lot of anything, so it's fine. We do get to kill the poly, so we take a little bit less damage there, but we're not beating like the eggs and the baby root starts, so that's fine. We'll take the cut purse first. Good in life is good enough, I think. Yeah, good enough for government work anyway. So we take this. We could skip. Skip would let us buy like the Good Witch or the Donkey, or we could roll and try and get one of these. These are not the best treasures ever. Like, we don't really have a lot of good characters. Ring of Meteors is somewhat interesting with the Creeper in the shop, but we would have to sell both of these or just cut them, which is not ideal. I think I'm just going to skip. I'm going to grab the Donkey and I'm going to roll. We can take the Stag here. I think it's something like this. Oh, that's pretty good. We do lose our Stag to get that, but we get our 2 gold here, which is pretty nice. We'll take an upgraded poly here. It's pretty solid. So with this, I think we can take Fairy Tale here. Just grab the chicken and the crafty and then roll. If we'd taken the Ring of Meteors, we could have the Creeper scaling here. I think instead we're just going to maybe grab the Sleeping Princess and then make it a 9. 9/9, which I think is fine. Something like this. Maybe a little greedy, but I don't think it's too bad. There's something to be said for these good witches, but there's really not anywhere to put them that I care about, so hopefully we get to attack with the stag. If not, like, it is what it is. Nice, we get to attack with the stag, so it's pretty likely that both of these, or at least one of them, will get to slay. Looks like we hit the gold, that's fine. We may wait for this until we can get an upgraded 5, we'll have to see. I think we roll. This is our first game today, so far so good. Picked up another poly, so then I don't care as much if this turns into an upgraded 4. But maybe we don't, like, focus on it. Like, if we get the upgraded 4, great, but if we don't, you know, it is what it is. Could also pull it and run this pig instead. Which I don't hate. Huh. There's a world where I run this instead of the kitty cut purse, because it gives us a higher chance that the pig, like if this slays and lives, then the pig is more likely to survive. But if this slays, we already get extra gold. Huh. Yeah, let's do this. We're going to look for Grimsoul, another poly. If we don't see the Grimsoul, we're going to try and slay with the stag instead. So we did get to attack with the stag, which is nice. We are going to be losing to the sling plus forking rod here, though. They are quite large. Notably, we would have flipped this into an upgraded 4, which is pretty solid. But we are losing here because we didn't do that, but that's okay. Alright, so this isn't quite useful yet, so we're going to go ahead and roll past it. We don't actually have a ton of animals for this vulture. I think I'm just going to roll. We appear to be doom rolling a bit, but this... Let's take this first. Are we in the market for another stag? I don't think so. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't really have the gold for it. The Sporco's probably fine, though. There's a lot of hits with the poly that the Sporco's really good with. And I do think that we position like this and we leave the other one to try and get it upgraded first. Nice. Okay, so we get that. And we're going to get our stag attack, which means we're going to win this combat pretty easily. So we should get an extra 4 gold here then, which is pretty nice. Yeah, so now that we have a burning tree, now this Sporco is certainly a lot more compelling. Here we get another poly. we probably don't need the secret stash anymore. It's unlikely that that's going to be relevant. Let's just take spinning gold over the secret stash. Take our donkey here. I would like this creeper as well, because it makes our burning tree, like, much better. I'm going to take Merlin's hat over the fairy tale. And then we'll sell one to... This gives us a treasure. Shit. Well, we fucked that up a little bit because now we don't have our creeper in. And everything is terrible. I took too long to think about what I was doing and then just didn't do it right. We were going to win anyway, but we did lose a lot of stats here unnecessarily. At least we bought it. I guess that's better than nothing. So now we have fork. We can get rid of the spinning wheel for the fork. Which means we don't really want to cast Witch's Brew. We want to cast, like, EXP would be really solid. This is also very good. It gives us a 6, a 5, and 2 4s. Grumble's pretty good here. I guess we can wait for a 5 on that. I think this is what we run. Maybe the Masquerade Ball was a little greedy. It felt pretty good. So if we had Ashwood, Green Knight, Robinwood, like they're all pretty solid this early. I mean, even Grumblegore is pretty good here. Our opponent is quite large, unfortunately. Like, I believe that we're going to be fine because we have this massive burning tree, but it is a bit awkward how large they are because of the paw. Or maybe they're just appropriately largely sized so then our burning tree gets more stats on it. That's probably more likely. Okay, so we could double Merlin's test, which gives a pretty substantial amount of stats, but I mean, we could hit the Grumblegore too. I think I'd rather roll and find EXP now. Horn is okay. Basically just Horn. Maybe I don't even care about the mouse then. Ball would obviously have still been very good here. I don't think that I can take away Sting just yet. I don't think that the Burning Tree has quite enough stats. So we'd be losing 10, 20 to get a bunch of shitty things. So I think I'm just going to skip for gold here. I think this we can do to try and get the poly to flip, because this is probably big enough anyway. Let's go ahead and roll. I'll triple our pig here. I would obviously take ball. Oh, man, that's unfortunate. Map is too good to pass, right? We'll just take it. Unfortunate. Well, we limited our ability to actually finish that off. Maybe I should have grabbed the Grim Soul that I saw earlier. It's probably a bit greedy to pass it. Again, I think we're going to be fine because the burning tree is quite large, but it does feel a little bad, obviously. And then the Lady of the Lake causes us to lose a bit of stats, or the Wombat, rather, from the Donkey. It is fine. We are still killing people, and we do have Treasure Map, which is very, very solid here. We could go for a 6 treasure. Wand is still very good. Singing Sword is still very good. We are likely not running the Sporko, however. Unless we do it something like this, which we could do. We'll grab it. I really don't think that the Heartwood Elder is what we want here. Yeah, I thought about holding the treasure map. Maybe that would have been better, but... Alright, well, we found EXP, so we can roll on 6 a little bit here. Ideally, we're looking for Ashwood, but for now I can take the Blind Mouse. Beauty's Influence is actually a bit interesting here as well on Burning Tree, because then if we find Good Boy, it's decent, but I think we're probably strong enough here that we don't have to worry about that. I'm trying to figure out if a 19 or a 14 is actually going to get a Slay. And if I need to run any other units. I can't really run any of these. I think this is just our board. Well, that was not ideal. Looks like we're probably going to take some damage here. Hopefully they don't hit the creeper. Still not great. But we would have taken quite a bit more if they did. See, I did hit the Good Boy, and I could have had it locked for the other thing. That's unfortunate. I maybe should have thought about that a little bit harder before I let it roll by. That's alright. It will be fine. Do we just want to make this have a lot more health, or do we want to try and make this good or this good? I suspect Gigantify is fine, since it's doubled. And then if we find another Beauty's Influence, we'll probably lock for it. I think I can take this now. Well, here's the thing. It's a 6 or a 7. So if, assuming that Lancelot procs, which it's pretty likely to, then we'll get a 7 out of this from Lancelot, and then we can grab this for a 4. Otherwise, it's a 6 and a 5. I actually wonder if the 6 and the 5 would have been better, and I wonder if this should have just been the... this should have been the Donkey, probably. I suspect the Donkey was more useful there. Because then it actually summons some 6s here, because it's upgraded. Did we die? No, we almost die, though. Well, unfortunately, we have to take Round Table here. Horn doesn't really do anything, so let's just go ahead and skip. Let's roll. Hey, Matthias, how you doing? Do we need this right now? I hope I got that lock. Pretty sure that there was another Echo Wood in that shop. Yeah, I mean, we hit round table. We can certainly beat trees. Pretty sure that there's an Echo Wood in the shop that I locked. Hopefully. The grind is alright. We lose one of these burning trees, which is kind of unfortunate. But we did end up getting the Echo Wood here. Realistically, we... 10, so we could sell 4. It's a little much, probably. Hey, Spin, how you doing? Like, I'm absolutely certain that I should use this Knighthood here on the Ashwood. So I'm pretty sure that that's bigger than the Echo Wood, right? Sorry, when I say bigger, I mean it's more cost efficient. Like, it's better to do this now and then buy this next turn. Oh, yeah, that's still yesterday's scores. Yeah, I haven't updated it. I'll do that after this. Let's do this. And then I'll update those. Yeah, this is game 1. There, that should be a little bit more accurate. You slay a lot. I end up in trees, like, all the time, you know, because why not? Vero's going to be so mad when we just absolutely truck him with trees here. But, you know, what are you going to do, right? Do I even care about this black cat? Not really. I'd rather find it basically any tree. The end is not really it. But, whatever. This is fine. I almost wonder if I should put both Echoes in the front. In case they have a Cupid. Yeah, we just got Round Table as a treasure, and then we just moved into the Ashwood. That's true. I was on Good Boy. I sold my Good Boy that I put stats on, because it just wasn't big enough. Close game. GG. Okay. Nice. A good start to the day. Very nice. Alright, so we are 340. Climbing back up. We spewed away quite a bit of MMR yesterday, but we did try to force some nonsense, so I can't imagine it'll take us too long to recover. I think Yvel is okay. I think PM is pretty good, and I think Pup is okay. So we're going to take Potion Master. Should probably update my tier list at some point here. But I'm not 100% that I'm sure of all the characters yet. I don't know if I've really got enough games on this patch to know for sure. I've gotten a handful of games at least, but not enough to really get a ton of sample size. And this patch is a bit different than the previous one, because it's a lot harder to just go into trees. Yeah, tier lists. It's interesting, because the cut burst is kind of cool, Poly's kind of cool. I think it's probably Poly, and then we'll magic research it into a 3/3. Assuming that it doesn't slay. And if it flips into something that's not good, unfortunate. Lost the 50-50 there to attack. How often is Fates on Egg? So there was 1, 2, 3 losses, and there were multiple ties. So we tied, so it was this, this, and this that would have either won or tied. So it was 1 tie then. Basically, if they're on anything other than Egg, this probably slays. So, we'll see. Maybe they're on double Egg and we're just getting ranched. No, they're on Egg, of course. Sure. Whatever. What are you going to do? This is not great. Nah, it's fine, Spin. Unless you don't want to be in games with me. I don't care. Doesn't bother me any. Unless you don't want to lose. And then you could try to find other lobbies. Hey, Sage, how you doing? I'll try to slay for a 4. I'll hold off on it for now. A bit unlucky on the combats, like not attacking first against the Pan Shadow and then being up against specifically stupid Egg Gamer, like not ideal. I guess we lose here. Some pretty unfortunate combats early. Like we fought against basically the strongest opponents that we could have at every instance here. I think I have to roll. I don't mind Spellweaver, but I think this is more useful. Yeah, Egg Fates is like pretty annoying. So there's a world where I Earthquake. I would have to sell the chicken for it. I think I'd rather keep it and try to flip the Poly here. This gives the Stag a lot. Both being a 3/6 and being in first attack slot gives it a pretty good chance of actually attacking here, so... Okay. Twitch, why are you like this? Okay. So we got a monster book, which is okay. Sort of makes me want that other thing back. That book's okay. We could take Wish Upon a Star. We are going to need a little bit of help here. The monster book really doesn't allow us to win much combat this early. It's okay. I'm going to grab Wish Upon a Star, and I'm going to roll once, and we're going to buy this other Poly here, I think. Though it is a bit awkward if our book dies before the Stag attacks. I think this is worth it for the Potion of Heroism. We'll pick up the other Stag. Obviously, I know that we're going into 4 either way, but having the guaranteed is pretty important, I think. Okay, that's actually good for us. Because we always get our Slay, and while we can tie this, we don't get the extra EXP, but we don't take damage, which is pretty good, especially since we've had so many bad fights in a row. I definitely take the other friendly spirit, this stag, and then I Potion of Heroism. And we probably are getting rid of like the Billy Goat or the Baby Root here. It very well could just be like this. No, it's probably just like this. It's a bit awkward to have them both in the back, is the thing. What about this? One of the things that can happen if you have double friendly spirit in the back is like the Baby Root dies and then you just have 2 friendly spirits left, and then the stats are almost entirely wasted, which is not ideal. Obviously we need to get like some range units in the back, so next turn we're going to get a lot stronger, but this should be okay for this turn. That is probably not good for us. Actually, if this is Lightning Bolt, then we tie. Yeah, a bit awkward. Let's buy the golden chicken here and roll. Wonder if I'm supposed to kiss the book and buy the Sporko. So there's this, there's also like this double stag, or this. Or this. I think it's just this. Unfortunate that our tree is dead. However, without a Juliet, I don't think that they're going to be able to be strong enough to kill us here. Okay, so that's pretty good. So normally I do like the EXP a lot, and I may be more interested in taking this next turn. I really want to use this Wormroot right now, because hitting this friendly spirit is actually a pretty big deal. It makes it substantially larger. And the Sporko is obviously very good here, both for giving us an additional ranged, as well as the additional ranged, as well as being better with the Burning Tree and the friendly spirit here. If I roll, there's not much to find. Assuming that we want this Wish Upon a Star, which means I should probably just buy 2 things and then lock. And then we'll buy this and try to get to 6 the turn after. Hopefully, this Loki's at 40. They literally haven't dropped to combat. Hopefully they're not so strong that we just get killed here. The first attack is pretty rough because it means that they're going to summon like 50 things and then these are going to destroy us because they got the stag attack. Yikes. It's pretty rough, actually. Like, really rough. I can see why they've literally destroyed every single person. Why were these so fucking big? I don't really understand why they're so big. I'm not getting it. But whatever. Let's buy the wish upon a star, and then let's roll. Huh. So you can pick up the burning tree. I don't think that's correct. I think it's maybe fine to lock it, but I don't think it's correct to pick it up now. Yeah, I mean, it's upgraded stag with Ring of Revenge, but that represents, what, 6, 7, 8, 9? I mean, I guess that's how big they were. And then the other one had the Romeo like 3 times. Basically, they're entirely relying on that stag attacking, which is unfortunate for us. So, I do think I want this forking rod. We'll put in the frog, I guess. I don't love it. Hey, Latwig, how you doing? However, this friendly spirit should be able to carry us pretty comfortably. Whether it hits a range this, even if it hits the frog, we should be able to get this and go straight to 6. Yeah, so the tree says, bonuses to my attack also add to my health. So anytime that this gets additional attack, it also gets additional health, which is incredibly strong with what we're doing right now. I believe what we're going to do is just dump additional stats on this friendly spirit for the time being. Until we find like an Ashwood or something else relevant. These stags have fallen off quite a bit, but I do think further buffs on the friendly spirit are pretty nice. This gives a lot of stats. And then we can get our treasure here. So we don't have a creeper, so Ring of Meteors really doesn't do a ton. Boots is like okay, but not great. Maybe it's fine. Most of these really don't do a lot, but there's... Outside of selling for the rotten apple tree, nothing else that we do is really going to do much. Based on what I'm seeing here. That's really unfortunate. I don't know if this is going to be able to carry on its own. It'll do pretty well, but I don't think it's going to be able to carry the whole thing on its own. Needs to shoot the Vampire. And then this needs to kill, like, the other shitters, basically. It's not going to be enough. It's really annoying. Being embiggening stone. Okay. Alright, we need to find... Okay, so we found our Ashwood and we found another burning tree, so we're in a pretty good spot then. We need 11, and we have 11 if we sell the chicken. Feels pretty good. Doubling our support is interesting. Draxsaber also interesting. If we double our support, eventually we can make the Ashwood a little bit better. By picking up like something that buffs good, or buffs health rather. Maybe we just take Draxsaber because it's better in the short term. I almost kind of want this Cupid in slot 1. It's like weirdly probably okay. Either that or like a Medusa maybe. Well, we have a game plan now with our fork as well. The idea is we're going to buff up this Ashwood while we scoop up some other pieces for this. I.e. more Ashwoods. Maybe this Medusa's okay. In example for IE. So I don't know if it's really viable for us to lock this stag. It may be better just to sell 2 because like our next turn is going to be knighthooding one of these Ashwoods. And if we're knighthooding an Ashwood, then we're also not taking the stag. So if we're going to be 3 turns locking the stag, I don't know if that's really even something that we care about anymore. What I'm considering is like double selling for the apple. And the reason being is that I want to make sure that we don't die here, because we're going to get a massive power spike next turn with the upgraded Ashwood. And I would rather not... yeah, but what is the point of skipping if I... like, why would I triple it if I'm going to skip, is the thing. Yes, I could have done that, but there's no point. If I'm not taking a treasure, then there's no point in doing it. Like, that sort of defeats the purpose. Because the whole point is having the actual treasure. Like, that's the benefit of it. Not the other piece. Like, I want the treasure. Don't know how much this actually needs the health. And maybe I'd rather have it a little bit later. But this thing later is also fine. Yeah, you're right. That's true. Nice Herc. Okay. So they are dead. I'm going to double flourish this because it's insane. And then we'll roll. Ideally, I'd like to start replacing these Sporkos, maybe with this. Wondering if this can be in the back, or like if it... We'll have to think about our positioning a little bit. So this isn't terrible on the Ashwood. It's not quite as strong as the Flourish. But it does still represent a pretty substantial amount of stats. Maybe we do this. Every time something dies with Drax Saber, it's like pretty good for us. Could also do this. Then we lose a lot of Sporko equity. Maybe this is fine. Like, this doesn't need the Sporko buff to be usable. It's already going to be gigantic, and the Drax Saber is just going to make it bigger. I don't think I lock for the BD's Influence. Killed Echowood. Which is decent. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but the Drax Saber should be pretty good against the tokens in general. Like a lot of the time. Okay. So this is pretty great. So we're going to pick that up. That will buff the Medusa as well. We could double mix the Friendly Spirit, or we could just Wormroot it. I don't know how long we're actually keeping the Friendly Spirit around. And we probably don't need it against the Trophy Hunter with no active hero power. This Green Knight, I assume, is awesome. So this is the Friendly Spirit. Trying to decide if I want the Medusa more or if I want the Friendly Spirit more. I think I want the Medusa more. And it very well could be that I want the Cupid more than both of them. I'm going to lock it and think about what comps we're facing to see if I want the Cupid more than I want the Medusa. So against the Loki on Bearstein, both the Medusa and the Cupid are pretty good. The Cupid at, what, 16, 17 attack or whatever, can either hit the bear and just kill them outright, or do pretty well with that. Whereas they are on Embiggening, which means most of the time we're going to be hitting like a range unit in the back row. Which makes me want the Cupid a little bit more than I want the Medusa against the Sadrak, probably. It's close, I think. I'm just going to leave the Medusa. I am going to use this, however. Shoot. I'm going to take this, and if it's not exactly Singing Swords, I'm probably going to skip. So with the Singing Swords, we don't really need the Medusa, or the Forking Rod anymore. How do we get this Echo Wood? Other than skipping. We would have skipped if it was anything other than the Singing Sword. So theoretically, the way that I could get it is by selling these two and picking up the Echo Wood. We could also just buy Soul Tack, but it's not very good because there's nowhere for us to put it. I guess in the back row. I really do think I should have just sold for it, but I would have had to put it in front, which would have been kind of awkward. So maybe this is fine. Because we have to have this in the front and this in the front. I guess we could have put the Medusa, like we could have attacked with the Burning Tree first, maybe would have been fine. Yeah, there was possibly a different way that I could have arranged this that would have been better. 3, 6, 7, 8. Not quite lethal even if they all live, so it doesn't really matter how many of them die. So we know that they have a Medusa. I'll buy this for sure. How's our position? This seems fine for this particular board. Could also be this. Like this, maybe? Yeah, it's looking pretty good for us, for sure. Now that we have a little better idea what they're playing, I still don't think I would have wanted the Cupid. I think the Medusa's just fine here. So they guarantee to attack with the 57-44 Medusa because they're Sadrak, so we can never really be better than that. We just have to hope that like our back row is good enough, which it's pretty good, so should have a decent shot then. Depends on how big Loki got. If they got Singing Swords, we might be in trouble. No, they didn't. We'll be fine then. Especially considering that we just like deleted almost their entire stats. Pretty good. Basically, the only treasure that I would want is Mimic, probably over Hermes Boots. At this point. I would also consider getting another, like, Echo Wood or another Burning Tree, probably. Fog is pretty good. Not great, but it's pretty good. Alright, looks like this game is probably over. I don't think I reposition. I think this is exactly where we want them to be. We'll just see what they've got. Our only real risk is if they put a Cupid in slot 1 instead. It hits this echo and it just like kills the burning tree and then kills them both. I think it's about the only way that we're going to get super scammed out of this. Their units are too low for this pumpkin to really matter a ton. It looks like that pumpkin was probably a polywoggle. So they went straight for a scam build, so we might lose. It's possible. It looks like we're probably going to be fine. So we'll kill this, this will kill this, and then we get to shoot probably the Medusa. Nice. Alright, GG. It was an interesting adjustment. I mean, they're certainly not beating us with anything else there, so... I think it's definitely worth the try, but they didn't quite have enough scam units to make it work. Some Cupids, and I think you might have had a chance spin, but without them it's going to be tough. Potion Master. Trees. Yeah, and Beginning Stone is really awkward. It's not good for first. It's good for like second. So, I mean, you got second out of it. It's like I would take that as a win overall. It wasn't. It's just because we had 3 units in the back, what I was trying to get at is that it didn't matter which one we shoot because we had ranged. There was still going to be 3 units left, so then it would hit and kill one, and then we would kill it back. So no matter what, it was a predetermined outcome then. That was what I was trying to say, and then just didn't articulate it properly. Whether we shoot one or the other, it ended up not mattering because we had a ranged. Because it was 3 units versus 1, so there's not enough. Since all of our units trade 1 for 1 with the Medusa then, we were always going to win whether we hit the Medusa. Now obviously because we're a streamer we clicked on the Medusa so it shot the Medusa, but yeah, I don't think adding another 50 attack would have been good there. Yeah, I think what you ran was fine. I mean honestly you probably could have just ran only Medusa and it might have been okay too. It might have even been better, because then you just like aren't wasting combats with stupid shooter. It's close though. I don't know how, like, you need more scam units because your units are were just too small. The Medusa is fine, but it just isn't keeping up with what we've got, right? Our things are just too big. 3. It would be hard because obviously you'd need to know like what it was that we were doing, but I mean, you saw trees, we only got bigger from the last time that you saw us. It's one of the reasons that I really like Potion Master right now, because A, it's pretty easy to get EXP because you have the double spell slot. And once you get there, like, Ashwood is so small now at the 0-15 that actually finding and casting the targeted buff spells is a lot more relevant than it used to be. And the Knighthoods as well. Like, it matters way more. I guess we just play Fates. I don't mind that. I don't really love these hits with Fates, so I'm just going to do this instead and wait to decide. Mid-game's too bad for PM. Yeah, that's fair. I'm fine with Cut Purse. It's like not the best hit. Fanny's okay too. I'm just going to take Cut Purse. And probably just the Sure Shot here. Then we can roll and look for something else, but let's do this. We'll try and... It's just not really an easy way for us to get a Slay, huh? Well, we'll just do it like this. We're just too small. That's fine. If we had flipped these two, if it was like this, it would have been better off, I guess. Huh. I'm really not a big fan of these dragons. They're super awkward with everything. All of our units want to be in slot 1, which really sucks. We're going to do this. Like this, maybe. I'm just going to let these go. I guess we perish. We're just taking like 1,000 damage. It's not ideal. Let's take the cut purse to start. So we can Crown of Atlas and make them good, which makes this a bit awkward if we take it. Could bounty board and then get 5 gold out of it if we actually, or 3 gold out of it if we slay. It's kind of cute. Probably unnecessary. Ring of Meteors, if we have this donkey, is like sort of a thing. Kind of awkward though. I really kind of want to slam this roll the dice. Maybe I should have done that first. We need to take one of these treasures for sure. And since we have so few animals, I'm just going to take bounty board. Oh, I need to lock that. Shit. I was thinking about it. I thought I had already locked it. That's unfortunate. We do get our sleigh. We'll have to see what the donkey summons. Okay, donkey carries. I wanted to lock that shop, actually. I would have played the Vampire here with the bounty board. This is probably better anyway. Barf. I mean, it's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Something like this, I'm not particularly excited about it, but it does allow us to get some extra resources, and then we'll figure out a better comp on 4. Bounty board can let us do a lot of like really degenerate shit. So we're going to try and leverage it if we can. Yeah, we very well might force slay. We'll have to see. We've taken a lot of damage this turn. Stag attack is not ideal for us. Brutal. No slay out of that either. Pretty rough. Well, that's a pretty good 1 gold. Almost makes me want to do this, but I think I'm going to leave the cut person slot 1. and just hope that we don't let them get a good slay. Like if they have a mummy, even a small one, and it attacks and kills this Minotaur, and they just like eat both of these Wicked Witches, it could be pretty rough. Even hitting a Wicked Witch and a Queen of Hearts can probably be a disaster. Yeah, if we don't allow that to happen, we'll be in a pretty good spot here, I think. Okay, that's fine. Because then this gets to be big enough that we get to win combat. They have Bounty Board on Trophy Hunter, which is pretty scary. But we are very deep now into Tier 4, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, we didn't get our Slay, and we haven't for a while. Yeah, we can drink a little water here. Are we in the market for Chupacabra? I don't think that we can Mermaid. We could Chupi. It's not a major upgrade from what we've already got, but it is another Slay. It can make these a little more relevant. We're pretty small here. Actually just less big than we were last turn. But it's not a whole lot else we can do, I don't think. I was considering getting another Evil 4, but I just don't really think there's that many Evil 4s that matter here. Yeah, we're just gonna get destroyed by this sarcophagus. Okay. We get a little bit of gold. Take 8. I mean, we get 5 extra gold, which is not nothing, certainly. We're really in the market for more Chupacabras. I guess. I don't know if I can take this Burning Tree. It is a lot bigger than this Minotaur, though. Maybe I take one and put it behind the Chupacabras. I don't know if they're big enough to slay, though, if I take it. I think I have to roll past it. Sporco's probably fine, but I think I'd rather find Baba Yaga. I don't think I can afford to take a Sporco here. Especially not without Grimsoul. Here's a Grimsoul. We might just die here. Well, I guess we're literally just gonna die to this Angry, huh? This is gonna make these doublies like 10,000, 10,000s, and then they're just gonna get to destroy us with them. Ah, that's fucking exhausting. Sure. This unit's basically dog shit. Like, where's my triples? Where's my things I actually want? This is literally brutal. I don't think this is going to be enough. I think we're very dead here. Like, very, very dead. That's too bad. Not finding, like, this or this pair, or the triple for, like, 40 gold or whatever is pretty rough. Like, no extra Evil Queen. We didn't find anything for about 40 gold. Because we've been getting extra bounty board gold from these, and it just didn't really turn into anything. Well, I guess we die. We tried the bounty board, didn't work, we perished. What are you gonna do? Hey, Endo. Right on time to watch us get killed. Because we didn't quite get there in time. We perish. Excellent. Fates. Oh, we weren't Fates. Yeah, we were Fates. Okay. I mean, we just like... Hey, appreciate that shield. Thanks to the tier 1. Thanks to the sub. Means a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Like, we missed on our sleigh for so many turns early with the upgraded cat. But we really didn't have a better option for our fates, like, choice. Like, getting a 5-attack ranger, I'm not really sure if that's that much better than a 5-attack money cat. We just sort of bled out and died. Kind of sad. Well, yeah, I know Choop is bad, but we didn't see anything else. I would have loved something else, let me tell you. I would have loved, like, anything else, but all we had was Chupacabra. Like, we weren't even at the point of, like, let's get stats to scale up our units so that they're big. That was, let's get units on our board. Which is pretty rough. Because we just didn't see anything else at all. And maybe taking those Sporkos would have made more sense, but it just really didn't feel like grabbing 2 random Sporkos was enough in that spot. But maybe that was a mistake. Huh. I don't really like Loki that much. I think it's fine. Just don't like not being able to cast spells, you know? It does overall have pretty good results, though. A lot of times. And maybe it was just Loki there. Bucky's pretty good. I wonder if I free roll. I just shouldn't have free rolled. Maybe the Romeo was fine, actually. Like maybe if we had went for the shooter plus the Romeo and then rolled. That probably would have been better, yeah. Yeah, I think since we had the ability to +1 attack on the shooter, it becomes a 2 attack. It might have just been stronger. Or at least it might have made more sense as a board. See what we get here. So we get Vainpire and either White or Peep. I mean, we certainly take Vainpire as a 4/4. And I guess we take Peep also as a 4/4, but like against Pants, if they have a Donkey, it's just going to be really miserable. But we're going to take it. Just put it in the back. This is pretty frustrating. They're just up a full unit on us because they got to keep either their pig or their lucky from the actual jump. It's rough. And since, God, you know what happened to... No, they just got the lucky. Because they had the candy right in there. They got lucky and... So they had this pig. So they started with dragon, went pig, got their pig to succeed, and then they... and then they got to buy 2 units and candy rain. Brutal. I suppose we try to fill up the board, huh? Just play Slage. Hey Imp, how you doing? I think this is our positioning. Assuming that they have a bunch of eggs, it's not going to go very well for us. Vampire, just a piece of shit always. Not a big surprise, I guess. These breakpoints have been frustrating, to say the least. Yeah, I'll play Peter Pants when we see him next, sure. I'm wondering about this Luna's Grace over this cut purse. On, like, the Ogre Princess, maybe. Well, we can not tie. We can minimize the damage that we take. So we got a Vulture. It's not ideal. Man, this is pretty ugly. Can I even take this? Like, yeah, it's nice that we're scaling something instead of nothing. What are we palming, though? Like, nothing here is good to even hit with palm is the problem. This is not a ton of stats. But we'll try it, I guess. I should have moved it over more, to be honest. Like, this should have been over in this slot. Just moved everything to the middle. And a little short again. Not great. The slow bleed is not ideal. Could go to 5. I don't think that we can do that right now. We can maybe lock for it, but I don't think that we can take it now. We got a lucky pair, which is kind of interesting. Can we just take it now? And then buy the friendly spirit, maybe? I'd have to sell 2 more, right? We can do that. We can keep the lucky pair too, right? Let's try this. We're not particularly strong in this spot either, but with what we had, I mean, it gives us a little bit more health and does put us at a bit of a higher tier. Yeah, I mean, the HP is nice. The EXP is also good. I mean, getting us to a higher tier to actually find better shit is relevant. But certainly, like, there are other factors to consider. Actually really like the forking rod here for the healing potion. I'm wondering if I should sneak this Cindy in. It's not really a favorable way to do it. If we want to cast the HP this turn, basically. There is maybe an argument for like buying the Cindy and then just locking and then tripling, and then casting this next turn. Like, I buy the Cindy, and then next turn I healing potion roll, and then I try to triple the Cindy right away. I actually kind of don't hate it, because if I get meteor rings, like, I'll probably still play them. It's not that bad. It's not great, but the 2 health does matter, and we are against a Piper who has taken a lot of damage, and they've taken a lot of damage round over round. Like, they haven't really stabilized, and we're decently strong here. We're not huge, but this was a good pickup for sure. So they have Ball, Fancy Pants. It's actually really good for us. Yeah, that's perfect. We don't quite kill them, but we do get Pig Gold, which is also very nice. The Ogre Princess is sort of interesting, but I think I'd rather roll looking for either this triple or a tree. I don't think that the EXP is worth it here, since we're already going to 6. This is probably worth it, however. Treasure map, I can get another 4 right away, or I can just ignore doing this and look for something better later. Alternatively, is I could take Fancy Pants, I could Queen's Grace, and then like grab the Sporko as a 6/6. We don't actually have another tree to support. I think we'll grab Treasure Map, and then we're just not going to cast the Queen's Grace then. I'm going to see if I can find a tree. This is kind of nice. Not great, because it doesn't really get much better, because we don't have another tree here yet. And I really needed a tree. Here's a Soul Tack. I think we take it. Assuming that we win, the Spinning Gold will be better to take, so I'm just going to do it now. I guess we perish then. So they have a fucking spear on 4.2, of course. I did not have the health or the gold to greed for Nian, so no, I did not. I needed a tree because we actually have tree scaling. Like, I need to be strong. We're taking 1,000 damage here. Couldn't exactly take a tree. or a Nian. It would be great if I could get 2 Nians, but that's 10 gold worth of, like, dog shit. It's a little too much, I think, to spend. I don't think we Friendly Spirit here. So if I take Fates, I can guarantee to upgrade this Green Knight in 2 turns. Pan's Shadow is also interesting in that it will increase our ability to get other things that go with this Green Knight. I think these are both interesting. And I don't actually know which one is correct here. This doesn't actually make us any stronger, and this guarantees to make us immediately stronger by giving these +3/+3. I'm going to try this and hope it's good enough. Got another creeper. I like Robin, but I don't think I can actually take Robin here. We need Ashwood a lot more. Okay, well, we didn't find Ashwood. I don't know if this makes any sense. I'm not sure if I like this creeper in the front anymore. I probably should have it in the back. This unit's pretty useless. I guess we have a lot of stats here. We are pretty ahead of the lobby on EXP. Okay, let's take the Green Knight to start. I guess it probably is round table. I mean, Grail would be good, but at the health that we're at, I don't think we even need it. I think this is still fine. I want the permanent scaling. I wonder if we need to get rid of this Lady of the Lake then, because it doesn't really do anything for us. No, we want this hitting here. This can be in the back, I guess. I don't know if this Soul Tack is in the right spot. I think the Friendly Spirit probably... The Friendly Spirit probably should have been supported. Like, it should have been the Burning Tree and the Friendly Spirit supported by the Green Knight. I think that would have been ideal. And then maybe even just Soul Tack in slot 1 and not worry about it. Or just shift all of these over and just have Soul Tack over here or something. I'm not 100% sure. I don't hate the double creeper though. Makes this Burning Tree quite nice. So we can change our hero power again if we want. We could Knighthood the Burning Tree. 9, 10, 11, 12. So we could just sell all the shit in our hand. How good is that? It's pretty good, right? Like, it makes the round table a lot more impactful as well, especially if we ever find Mimic. I really kind of maybe think I should move that to the back now, the one that has more stats on it. I guess we perish then. Great. I guess we're probably fine. We kill them. Yeah. Teach you for Medusing, my guy. Keep me with the old 1 and 4. Pretty rough. Forgot we had Fork. So this is the Court Wizard bullshit again. I don't think that I can Lance against that. It's pretty rough if I do. We may just be dead against Horde Dragon, honestly. So if they find 100 Sword or something, it's just GG. I think we'll do this. As much as I like the other one being in the front because it's so large, like I think we're better off, especially with the way that the Court Wizard nonsense is working, to try and do it like this. Which is not great. Yep, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Why not? Why not? I don't really want to buff these anymore. I need to find Ashwood. None of this other stuff matters. Like, without Ashwood, we're just dead, so... Is this even good? I mean, I guess I know that it is good. It might have been. I forgot that the shoulder fairies... I keep forgetting that we have round table. Like, it's okay. It's the problem with the 150 shoulder fairies is it's not beating the Horde Dragon. Like, if we don't find Echowood, we're just dead to the Horde Dragon 100% of the time. So, our only real chance is to find Ashwood so that we can get bigger than what they're doing. Because otherwise, we're just dead anyway. So that is my thought, is it is not enough to make it worthwhile. Because while it is pretty big, it just pales in comparison to what we would have with an Ashwood, and I just don't think it's strong enough. Okay, so we found an Ashwood here. But we don't need to play for second. We have round table. We can absolutely play for first. That's what I mean, is yes, it would be nice if we could play for second, but we just don't have to. We can absolutely play for first. Because we're strong in this spot, we can be a little greedier and try to play for it. So I'm gonna try, at least, you know? And this helps. It's not enough on its own, like just the one, but it certainly does make a big difference. It is a start, at least. Now, this was the Medusa nonsense, which is not great. Because if it hits like this, we lose a lot of our scaling. Maybe we just still do this, then. Yeah, we'll leave it like this. It does, yeah. So the way that Mimic works with Roundtable is it just does Roundtable twice. And because Burning Tree can never be an even amount of stats, it works extremely favorably. So what'll happen is they'll be this big, and then it will try to Roundtable them again, which will then make the health go up, or sorry, the attack get to be as high as the health again, which then makes it go huge. So it is actually very, very, very nice. We could Beauty's Influence the Ashwood. It is a decent amount of increase with the fork. I think the +8 is enough to justify it. So now we have Echo, which we certainly need to pick up. Can we get both of them? Like, what is the MMR difference? So it depends on if you're at the full... Can we get this other Echowood? And should we try to get it, I guess, is a good question as well. Because it's incredibly strong. We'd have to sell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think we have to. I think we can wait. Sorry. So it depends on where you're at and how high you are against the lobby. But if we just assume that the full lobby is bots, then each player is worth 16 points. So that's how much it costs you to if you win or lose. It's just 16 going all the way down the list, basically. We may just be dead here, because our board is not that strong. Like, if this goes on the Court Wizard again... I don't know if we have enough stats to actually beat this. Yeah, that's really annoying. Like, getting first attack every time is pretty rough, but what are you gonna do? We missed for so many turns. Like, we have 2 treasures. And we got one of them from being Fates and buying 3 things. What could we have done there? Nothing, basically. Yeah, GG. I'm just trying to think if there's anything that we could have done, and I really don't think that there was. Because, like, again, a bunch of 100s don't really, 150s don't really matter. I don't think we do. The problem is that if we sell this and this to run the Echo, is that we have less trees. Like, this will have less stats because it's not getting the 4/4 from this. And we'll have less trees in general, so then the Echo woods are a little bit smaller, too. So these would have both been about 500 or so. Which still doesn't beat their 1200 Echo, because looking at their board, not only do they have every treasure that they could ever imagine, but because they went on the ranged, like, doesn't creeper scaling end up hurting Echo with round table? How would it ever do anything to impact that? The way that this gets any health is because this gives attack. So this gives 50 attack to everything, and then that translates into health. So if they just have higher base attack, then they get higher attack when this gives them attack, and then they get higher health. Because this always happens first. So this is happening, gives everything 51 attack. Then round table's like, okay, let's check and see what the hell is happening. So then this, on its own, is already giving itself an additional 51, so they have 14 plus 51 then. So this is only favorable for us. I don't really see how it could possibly hurt us. Not only that, these get both attack and health. Anytime that they get attack, they also get that equivalency in health, or higher. In fact, the higher attack that you give this, the more health that it gets, because it's getting double, because it's upgraded. So we were... what did we actually play this game? This was a skip game, right? Yeah, pretty rough, though. I definitely think that we could win this lobby if we encounter our opponents in a little bit different order and we had just a little bit more health to play with. Yeah, I should go stretch before we jump into another one. Let me update this thing, and then we'll go stretch real quick, and then we'll get into the next one. Just a quick stretch. Bit of a bummer on the outcome of that game, but it happens, you know. Not having the extra treasure certainly did cost us, and you can definitely feel that the Ashwood is a bit weaker than it used to be overall. I mean, not a big surprise, right? But it definitely doesn't feel as strong as it used to. So Pant's Shadow's been buffed. I feel like it has a lot of first equity, but it can definitely flame out really easily. I think Zelhua is just like a better version of Pan Shadow. Yeah, we're getting close. Almost. Yeah, no problem, Trons G. It's such a weird interaction, so it makes sense. Mask is pretty good too, but I think we're just going to take Zell and be fine with it. Start with 45 HP. This is a decent shop, not amazing. I'm in the market to take the Humpty, and then probably Cindy Shard next turn. We could also just Shard this turn, but I think I'm actually fine just waiting most of the time here. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think let's Cindy and Shard and see what we get. The Billy. I mean, Zell at 40 was pretty medium. Like, as a hero. It was fine, but it was not great. Oh, we can lock for this, fine. The reason that they bumped him up to 45, and the same reason that Pan Shadow got bumped up to 45, is that while in, like, really high MMR, like, tournament lobbies, 40 health is fine, because typically better players can navigate, like, the mid-game more effectively without a hero power. If you give like a random player the Zell, especially at lower MMRs, it can be pretty rough. Yeah, it started as a 40 HP and then they bumped it up. So it's definitely been there before, and they had to sort of move away from that, just because it's hard to navigate the mid game already, and if you're starting it at not a lot of life, it can be pretty rough. So. This being at 45 is essentially the same thing that Hearthstone Battlegrounds kind of did, where they just gave some of the, I guess, underperforming isn't quite the word, but it's like a little bit weaker in the early game heroes, a bit of a boost, a bit of a shield so that they don't just straight die before you get a chance to even experience the hero power. Because what this 5 health lets you do is just be somewhat alive when you get towards tier 5, or so tier 4 into like tier 5, like that sort of range. Because until then, we just like literally don't have a hero power. It's a bit awkward because our opponent has gotten to like mega scale a sure shot before they even encounter us. It's literally a 9/5 before we even get into combat, so we just like have no chance to compete at all. It's great. Probably should have had this in the front though, so that's on me a little bit. We could get out of the Unicorn, buy Queen of Hearts Mummy, and play Evil. And then we could Candy Rain as well. I don't despise that. Especially because it gets our Cindy a little bit closer. Let's do this, just in case they have a dragon. We're not huge here, but it shouldn't take long for us to... Excuse me. It shouldn't take long to piece the rest of this together. Oh, that's not ideal. Getting the stag attack is pretty miserable for us. It's been happening a lot, and I'm not really sure if I'm doing something wrong or what. But I've been getting a lot more stags just like to go off against me, and I'm not sure why. Something like this is probably okay. I don't love the sword, the dancing sword here, but it is okay. So it's good enough for us to take here. Like, dealing 1 damage was out of the question, and the other treasure just like wasn't good enough. So we'll just Dancing Sword, get a little bit of extra stats. It's basically a shitty sling, but it does make our Sporkos a little bit better if we get to pick them up. We can always transition into a different board once we get a little bit later. Zilhua is one of the few heroes that is strong enough economy-wise to transition into basically whatever you want. Because you can actually speculatively pick things up, which you can't actually do on most heroes, because you just don't always have enough resources to do that. But it is certainly a commitment to do any sort of speculation. Spending 5 gold on something that you might not put on your board is pretty rough. A lot of the time, I would say. So we could potentially kidnap against Midas. They will have upgraded units a lot of the time. I don't hate that. This makes us weaker to take it. I guess we can take the Minotaur as well. We could potentially skip. First attack doesn't really do a lot for us. What if we skip? That would give us 4. It's not really that much better than just taking a treasure. Because I don't particularly want this Wicked Witch, but if I could get both of these, I would do it. But only getting 1 means it's pretty shit. I don't really think Ring of Meteors is what I want to do here. Without a creeper or some way to take advantage of it, it's just not very strong. So I guess after all those arguments, I am just taking the Hermes Boots, and then we'll take this. Yeah, maybe Nest, but I don't know. Nest is like, since we already have the Mim, we don't really need the 5/5. Like, first attack with Grim Souls is probably just stronger anyway, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Unfortunately, we didn't take the thing that we would have wanted, which is one of these upgraded familiars that already has stats on it. Which is a bit unfortunate, but that's okay. Just got a regular one. I mean, we did get the Fat Dragon, so maybe it would have been okay. And we ended up taking Brave Princess because it was Mummy. Oh, nice. That's actually not that bad then. We can pretty easily get a 7/5/1 to go off. Yeah, it's not a ton of stats. It's okay. I'm trying to decide if we even want to do Feasting Dragon. It's like okay, but we just really don't have to. Because this is pretty shit without the support. Huh. I think I'm going to roll past it and look for something better. So the question is, do I wait until next turn to cast the Masquerade Ball, or do I just do it now? Is this even worth it? Barely, right? I think I'm going to wait until next turn. Like, as Zilhua, I would rather just be strong and get to the late game, and then we'll just win from the end game because we're Zilhua, right? Like, we can pick this up just because it's, like, a bit better than the Mim. We don't necessarily have to commit to anything with Slay in it. Like, we'll take the Nian and the Baba. It's just, like, we lose a little bit of attack, but it's just a better unit. Medusa's pretty good, actually. Since we have first attack. Like, do we even want this Black Cat anymore? We are against the bot. I'm going to try this. Against the bot, it does feel a little bit greedy for me, but I think we got a lot stronger with these three this turn, and if we can slay with this, with our boots, we do, with the Baba, get to trigger it to get a 3 right away, which can be map for our Nians going into 5, which would be cool. We are about to get fucking destroyed. Because we didn't kill this sure shot. Holy fuck. We just lost to the bot. I mean, we did trigger our Brave Princess, which I guess was the goal. Probably wasn't worth it, if I'm being honest. Maybe it's fine. It didn't feel like it was worth it to me. Ring of Revenge is interesting. Maybe it's just Sting. It makes my Medusa not really need the support, but we could always put something else in that slot later then. We'll go ahead and take it. I am going to take the healing potion and then roll. Yeah, maybe for Lance. That's true. This thing is pretty bad now. I don't know if we need another Medusa, to be honest. I think one in slot 1 with the Hermes boots is fine. We don't really need a second one. And I'd rather find 5s, I think. So we really needed to hit this Friendly Spirit. It's 4.2, which means that they've had, in order to get one that's a 45-22, they would have had to have hit fucking Hat Ball so incredibly early. Like, I don't even know what turn. Get fucked, I guess. We'll take this. Look for treasure map here. We did not find it. Do we need the dancing sword still? Not particularly. Let's take hat. Sting might have been okay. Should probably take this Oni King, huh? Nah, I don't want to risk it. I want it to just complete. It does make our board a lot worse. I think it'll be fine to run it for now. It's a coin flip for us to attack this combat anyway. They're just gigantic. Okay, that's actually fine for us. It's too bad. Is that a Romeo? No. Man, this combat's been pretty ugly. We're gonna lose by just Juliet, basically, which, I mean, I guess is fine. But not great. The combat was pretty rough. Like, our attacks were not ideal, I would say. Honestly, Evil Eye is okay here, but I think I'm just going to take Staff since we're on Zelhua. It's incredibly powerful on Zel. I think it's worth it. I think we can take it over Sting now. Just put this in the front, switch these around a bit. I don't know if we need another Medusa. I think I'm more inclined to just roll. Grab a Nian. Let's get Saber. I do want another monster. I don't really care for this Siren, but it's certainly better than the Brave Princess. Like, I don't know if this or this makes more sense, but I think here is fine, because it's unlikely for us to have enough room if we don't. I guess we're just too small. Apparently everybody has fucking Hat Ball. Kidding me with this? Like, does anybody not have Hat Ball, for fuck's sake? That would be nice. I don't really think we need another Medusa. I think I'll take a Burning Tree. Another Burning Tree. Yeah, it is a Hat Ball world out there. This is a shop for sure. Really wanted to use this to gain 5, but there's not really a way for me to do that and still, like, buy this Siren pair without playing down a unit. Like, I don't really want to run a Burning Tree, do I? Maybe it's fine. Because we get the thing now. Hey, Swift Wolf. I don't know if we want one of those or not. I'll have to think about that. We didn't leave ourselves enough time. Hopefully we're not just dead here. I mean, we're Zelhua. We paid 6 gold to speculate on the idea of getting into trees later. It's not really that outrageous on Zel. On other heroes, it's a bit different, but on Zelhua, it's fine. It's not like I spent 10 gold. I spent 6 gold, you know? And now we found an Ashwood for 3 gold, which we can certainly buy. Which means we can have this sort of Fire and Ice, or the Evil Eye. I think maybe Evil Eye is fine, and we can get rid of the boots then. So we can buy both of these, and we can like, arrange these a little bit, especially against the person who's dead. Yeah, I think the staff is better for now, especially on Zel. We want both of these. Feels like a pretty good turn. Infinite Awoken Princesses. Oh, because it was your faded unit with Poly, and then you transformed it, so then it doesn't understand that you already upgraded it. Yeah, I saw that bug. That's kind of hilarious. Are we dead? Wait a minute. Are we fucking dead? We're dead. Nah, we're fine. They are huge, and the book is making them continue to scale after they're already gone. Which is kind of interesting. Alright, here's another Ashwood. Some big pigs. Echo. What do we think about this position against Pants? Since we have the Drax Saber. Oh, and then you got Sporkos. Yeah, that seems pretty strong. Yeah, it's weird because like if you upgrade from the unflipped one, it like apparently just like keeps spawning them. I guess it can happen with Frog as well. Like where your Fated unit is a 1/1 frog, but if you buy a princess, they flip and then they're considered a different frog, but then they can triple it, but then you keep getting them. But then now they're upgraded, but it doesn't consider it as having already upgraded. It's weird. So it's not about the... So because we have Drax Saber, anytime that a unit dies, it buffs both of these plus 2/1, but then they also get additional 2 health. So we're getting plus 2/3 on these ones, right? And then that goes to the Echo Wood as well. So the reason that we want the Ashwoods in front is because we want them to run in, smash into some units to scale up our Burning Tree, which then in turn scales up our Echo Woods. Because if, for example, our Burning Trees run in and die, it's worse for us overall. So I think I can get rid of Staff now for Mimic. It's probably good enough to do, because it makes us massively bigger here. I should probably take the Soul Tack. I don't love the Soul Tack here, but I need to guarantee that I have a tree, so I will take it and then we'll roll some. We don't actually need any more treasures. We need this, basically. It is when our opponent's things die, but our Ashwoods have 50 attack or 100 attack or whatever. So our Ashwoods run in, they kill something first, and then these are unaffected. So against our last opponent, like our things were basically trading, but then these are still alive rather than having already got in and attacked. I guess I don't take the Echo Wood here, and I have to wait. I really don't want to play down that many units, so I'm just gonna wait. I may even end up taking the other Heartwood Elder here, just to fill up our board again. I think we're big enough that we can just wait. Okay, double Pig Ode. But I think we're going to be fine here anyway. Maybe. Maybe not. We might just be dead because of the double Pig Ode. Well, fuck me, I guess. A bit unfortunate, but we'll grab this. Are we even big enough to take Feather over Drax Saber? Probably. Without Singing Swords, it's a little rough. I don't know if I take the Heartwood Elder. It is a lot of permanent scaling, though. Which is kind of interesting to me. It doesn't really matter which direction they're in. Huh. Because this gives them, what, 2, 4, 6? This gives them plus 6/6 permanently. It's almost the same as another Ashwood, actually. As long as I do it like this. Now, we know that they're not incredibly strong. We saw them 6 turns ago. Yeah, like we would obviously replace Evil Eye for Singing Sword, I think. It's close. I mean, we get a lot of stats from this, but I do think that it's probably better just to have the Singing Sword for sure. And I think 100 attack on these is plenty to deal with Royals. No, I don't really want to Dream Out. I think Zelhu is one of the better heroes in the game, especially on trees. Like we don't need treasures. We need characters. So I'm not taking Heartwood Elder here. I will take Knighthood though. We'll position like this. And then it's definitely better to... You can do it like this even. A little bit more stats here. While I agree that it is cute if we actually have and are off, like if we could naturally upgrade the Ashwoods, there's definitely value to that. But it is rare that we're going to be able to find one, right? And our board is a lot stronger with the Knighthood now. Because if we triple it and we don't hit Singing Sword, it's pretty miserable. And the Evil Eye with the Green Knight is actually a lot of stats. So it's giving plus 30, which means it's giving plus, what, 90 to our board? Or 90 attack. Just a lot of stats for a single Green Knight. Yeah, fair enough. Thanks for hanging out. I wish my monster books were ever even close to as good as this dude's monster books. Holy shit, man. Like, 2 spells and we've had a Pego both combats? Like, god dang, that's ridiculous. I don't think we can actually win here, if I'm being honest. It's gonna be really rough. Because we need to win, like, 5 more combats, basically. That's a lot of combats in a row. I mean, I definitely think we can make it work, but... Like, maybe we need another Knighthood? I'm trying to decide if another Knighthood makes sense here. Yeah, 11 spells, I could cast 7 of them are Pego. Yeah, big true. Nah, I think I roll. So this is pretty good, actually. I can pick it up now if I want. Or we could just leave the permanent scaling. I don't think I need to sell the Robinwood to pick it up now. Genie's Wish is also Knighthood. Yeah, I don't know about that. Why do they have so many... How do they have so many Storm Kings? Hello? They're also Holy Grailing next turn. Which is obviously less than ideal. Hey, happiness.